It's 10 minutes later. Maybe, but this is the most exciting one I've had. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me introduce you to our amazing group today. Oh, get that Vladdy together. I'll get you guys' Instagram up in a second. Vlad. Boop.
I'm still here, y'all.
Boop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of our podcast where we're going to get into an incredible work of charity that is, would you say making a tremendous impact in the underground tunnels of Las Vegas?
Literally.
Today we get the privilege of hosting an organization dedicated where they feed the homeless and providing them with, well, shit, man. I'm just going to say it, and they'll correct me later. A glimmer of hope amidst the shadows. So here we go for the heartwarming episode, as I'm going to uncover the experience that lies beneath the tunnels of the streets bustling in Sin City. So let's all welcome Shauna and Tony. We're thrilled to have you guys here. Okay, so let's just get right into it. And Scott, welcome back, everybody. Scott, welcome back. So let's just get right into it. I'm thrilled to have you. Could you start by sharing the story behind your organization and how it came?
Oh, well, that didn't begin with us. So it's only so much that we can speak to other people's stories. But as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, or fill in where I missed something, a bunch of comedians got stoned one night and decided to do something human and cool and adventurous.
Wait, so this is from musicians?
Comedians.
Comedian.
Wait.
Yeah.
So did the comedians do this as a
local
joke?
comedians.
Yeah.
No, not as a joke, but like just kind of do something human and fun and adventurous. And there's like a bit of danger going down to the tunnels at night underneath Las Vegas Boulevard and just hang out with the folks. And you better bring something. I mean, that's only the polite thing to do to any come to anyone's home, bring a gift, bring a bottle of wine.
Wait, bring a gift?
Yeah,
You bring food and water, weed. We're the 420 friendly charity, so we're always because we think it brings.
So you guys get them stoned?
Yeah, then we hang out.
So you go underground to get them stoned?
And fed and socks, batteries, hook up an ID, help with bureaucracy, deliver mail, just that's what it's become. But like
it's like a full suite of because everyone needs help in different ways,
as we offer.
But it starts with food because if you're hungry, you can't think right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Water, food, the basal level, right?
Like that's a big one for me personally on water when it's hot, like when we're in triple digits for a prolonged period of time. I go around, pass out cold water. And that's like an immediate crisis management situation where I'm possibly preventing a medical or social situation. But then there's like that more long-term thing where you just show up and provide a social connection as well as material goods.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. How long have you guys been doing that for, or what got you like involved with that? Because you said you met some, but like the comedians. So you met them personally, or did you like hear about the story and just want to follow their footsteps, or how'd that connection happen?
Well, me and Jesse, we moved out here to Las Vegas in 2019, and we were homeless in Oakland for about a year. So we had like a boat. Yeah, together.
Sorry.
We had a boat that we were living on through the summer. And through the summer months, it was cool because it was warm and hot, and we could stay there all the time. Nobody would say nothing because it was summer and stuff. But then when it came like the winter months, they started cracking down on people who were supposed to. Because you had to have like a permit and stuff to stay on the boats long term. So then we could only be on the boat for 2 nights a week, and then the other 5 nights we had to figure out somewhere else to go. So Jesse would like sleep on Barlight.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sleeping on the subway, And
then I had to, every night I had to go to a friend's house. I had to go to 2 different people's houses, super far away, and then wake up super early, go to work.
Would you guys get worried for each other for the weekend then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
And sometimes, she always had like a couch at the very least, but sometimes she would go with me for the marathon, stay awake all night and sleep in the day situations. I'd be in San Francisco. There's, just walking around. There's, some amount of activity, so it's reasonably safe. And then when the BART, the subway in the Bay Area would open, then I'd get on it and sleep for like a few hours. And on a few nights, more than a few nights, she would join me for those marathon, stay awake.
Or watch each other's back. You nap, I nap.
No, it was more like she was just like being solid with me.
Yeah.
like she would
that's adorable.
go all night, and be right the next day just so that I wasn't alone doing these adventures at night, which I soaked up a lot of game and a lot of life out in the demon hours of San Francisco. Yeah.
Damn.
What would you say is like one of the biggest fears or something, one of the biggest things you had to overcome, knowing that every night or 5 days you had to find a spot? Okay, so really,
there's a constant threat of assault of one kind or another, which is why I wouldn't stay awake, why I wouldn't go to sleep at night. It's also why I chose not to have a tent. This is what I learned later on from another activist who was homeless, ran an encampment just for elderly homeless people. He explained to me that I wasn't homeless, I was transient because I didn't have a tent. I didn't have a location to not have a home at. I just wouldn't have felt safe that way. I kept on the move. I wore wrinkle-free clothes, so I would try to pass as a morning commuter sleeping. Kept my stuff in a computer bag as opposed to a backpack. And
computer bag?
Just like a briefcase style.
Okay.
So that's
take bags.
So you had to pay attention to your image and all that.
Oh yeah, and that's like a whole invisible homeless population. Really high level, in the Bay.
Blend.
But everywhere, to be passing as not homeless is a great strategy. You'll wind up, not harassed by police, be much less of a target for predators.
Okay, right now, so do you feel like you are, you're trapped inside of that thing, right? The last thing you want to do is be constricted. Like, if you're out on the street, you can do left, right, up, down, whatever. You're in that tent. You're in that tent.
And you gotta have people watch your stuff. People get their stuff stolen all the time. And the
because if it's outside of the tent, it's gone.
They'll sweep everything and take all your stuff and throw everything away.
Just gone.
They'll give you like 5 minutes to get all
your stuff. Because homeless people don't have property, right?
Yeah.
Rights to it anyway.
So you can have like your ID in a bag, and they don't care and they throw it away. And you can't get they literally bring out dumpsters. Like imagine like every 6 months. Every 6 months, everything you accumulated just got thrown away by somebody, and you had to every time.
So what would happen if you lost an ID or somebody lost it? Like, what's the process? I understand, like in my mind, what I do, but it's like it's a lot of work. Actually,
a lot of catch-22.
You don't have anywhere to get it sent.
Because
if you have no
papers, for me to
papers.
get my ID because I only had a PO box for address.
Okay.
They don't send it to PO box, do they? Yep.
That's
you can't use a PO box.
So do
I feel like you should be able to walk in an hour or two and get a license,
right?
Or not a license, but ID. I mean.
Yeah, it should be.
Because that's
simple,
like a basal thing that should be easy.
You need a solid address, and then you need 2 pieces of mail, and then like all this verification and stuff. And then people be weird. You want to use someone else's address, and they get a little weird. Like,
people you've known your whole life. As soon as you're homeless, they start looking at you different. And to be fair, after a while, I was pretty different. Because it
takes a toll.
Yeah, and so my behavior was.
It's a unique experience. Not a lot of people go through that. I don't think.
Yeah.
And then you wind up isolated by the people that you've known best your whole life. There was some homeless woman that I met. We were like watching each other's backs to take naps in Berkeley, and she had a lot of insight. She was met her. She was speaking at City Hall concerning something. She was public speaking there, and she had a brilliant moment on stage there, and people started giving her a lot of support, and so she had kind of a status, and it was uplifting for her that she had some kind of way to apply, and herself and have some kind of work to benefit others, but she was still completely homeless. No one hooked her up with a spot, She's being applauded. There's this was
That's what you mean by the catch-22, because you're trying to have this image of like I'm not homeless, but like you could use the help, but nobody's gonna like volunteer that anyway. But then if you're like coming in as a homeless guy all raggedy, it's like no one wants to give you time of the day. They don't even want to hear you out.
And there's like a nominal fear that people have, a sense of threat from homeless people, even if you just get discovered to be homeless. Like I've been sitting here with this person, and you can feel the vibe shift. And then, we all of us benefit all the time from our social connections. We're always, all of us would wind up homeless if not for social connections. So, have a hard time. We're always helping people and we don't realize it. People look to what we do and be like, oh, they're so charitable.
But
it's like, we're always doing that for each other. Who do you know who to trust?
Oh, I see.
Or how to help. Then you don't have to risk so much.
Okay, so I could get well, I'll just say, well, Scott knows. Well, so there was a moment where I had to put on my big boy pants, and I guess I was technically honest because I stayed at Scott's for 2 months. But it was one of those earn your keep, act like I was going to move out, which I did. That's why I was only there 2 months. But it was one of those, like, it took a big risk on his part. But I guarantee you, if I started slacking off, getting drunk high, fucking around, bringing in hoes, this guy would have beat my ass, literally physically beat my ass and kicked me out. And so sometimes you get an opportunity and it's what you do with it.
Well, yeah, and then like just that situation, it's like I'm still taking a risk because I don't want to beat you up, then I lose my job, I go to jail or whatever, like, and then I lose a house or whatever, and then I screw myself up, and then it's like, you don't like, I don't want to kick somebody out on the street either. I'm trying to help, but it's like you were there to help yourself, so you have to. And that's the thing. How do you help people but not?
Wait. So with that.
That doesn't describe the phenomenon. Right, 500,000 people.
Okay, so here I know the best question to get into that.
There's not 500,000 bad roommates. That's
right.
We're looking at people who are elderly and rents go up in their area, or they aged out of the foster system, or their baby died because their boyfriend shook it. And now they've completely collapsed. This is referencing a particular woman that's
emotional trauma
that we were helping, and they wound up doing an episode of Intervention, the A&E show, focusing on her and got her out of the tunnels. Now she's starting up a charity in LA, and it's like one tiny thing can render a person homeless. There was in Oakland, the homeless encampments were so expansive that there would be a gradation between subcultures. Here we have the drug addicts. Here we have the drug-addicted sex workers. Here we have sex workers that are not on drugs. And it just like blends as it goes down. And there was one encampment where it was people with speech impediments.
Really?
A whole camp.
It's stuttering or just difficult
like
to talk.
Slurring or some kind of
speech impediment. And if you're familiar with the monster experiment,
refresh.
It was a monster experiment was a study where they I want to say early 1900s, where they took one group of kids and that stuttered, and they're like, we're setting you aside to be in a class for kids that speak exceptionally well. You have such great pronunciation. This is where you are. And then they all stopped stuttering. Then they took another group of kids that didn't stutter.
1939.
And they gave them they told them that they were stutterers and they're terrible at speaking. They all developed speech impediments. And then the reason they call it the monster experiment is because decades later, when they went to look up on what happened to these kids, their lives went to shit. They all lived in squalor or were homeless or just died young.
The ones that they basically embedded the bad language. Wow.
Yeah, and
not the other group.
Yeah, the other group
they stayed prospering.
Yeah. And so
that just shows how much important the influence of the people you're around and like how the giving you hope and encouraging you and telling you that you're like it's a fine line, because I don't want to say, oh, you're super great, you're already godlike, you're already 100%, there's nowhere to grow. Like, you have to give them some room to grow. I remember I had this one teacher, he would never give anybody 100%. He's like, oh, you get 99. He's like, you got to have a little room for growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like branch 99. Okay. Philosophy.
So with that, let's tie this in. Let's tie this in because I have so many questions. So let's start getting into it. I feel like that was, Jesus Christ, privilege and an honor, you guys. Okay, so the underground tunnels can be daunting and unfamiliar. Even if you've been down there, that environment has always got to be a little unfamiliar. So with that, how do you discover the hidden community? And what is your challenges while you're down there trying to, I guess you could say, as cheesy as it sounds, carry out your mission? But I mean, it is a mission. Yeah, that's fair.
Call it a mission.
Yeah. What gets in your way? Or what challenges do you face when you're trying to go down?
I feel like I don't really face no challenges. It's kind of weird to say. I'm so
is that weird
to going down there?
Is that me just thinking the worst of the worst kind of thing? Is that
not
really how it is?
When you go to your local bar, they do exist.
Jesus Christ, the challenge at my local bar. High school never ends.
Yeah, like we said, it's like it's not, you don't want to think like, oh, I saw this one time in a movie where they broke a glass bottle in a bar and then they're going to stab somebody. Like, oh, that could be me going in. Like, if you're going in with that attitude, like, or that mindset, it's like, what do you set yourself up for disaster? But if you're going with like, hey man, there's a group of people here that need help and you're just like trying to like make a connection. I don't know, like what's the correct mindset for someone going in there, I guess.
I don't know, because I just feel like, I know all the people there, I know their names, I talk to them, I ask them how they're,
you feel like they're friends.
Yeah, they're like friends. They're our homies. Like there's this one couple, Steve and Kat. They have this tunnel that's where is it? It's kind of like on Tropicana or something. But like they've been there for I think a decade. But it's not just like a tunnel. It's like an apartment. Like the place is nice, man. It's so weird to say, but it's nice. You go in, they have like a living room area, and then they have like a pantry kitchen area. And then they have a bedroom, and then they have like a back storage area, and it's so cozy. Oh, wow. So we always, whenever we do our mission days, we always go to Steve and Kat's last, and we save all the weed for their stuff.
So jam sessions break out,
jam sessions,
musical equipment.
We talk a lot of ish,
So they got power down there.
Yeah,
electricity.
Electricity. Sometimes they have power.
Batteries here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's just mostly just the vibe.
Like candlelit. Like how do you see? Like I'm thinking. Well, he says dark tunnel. That's so I'm just imagining something you can't see. How do you get light? Or
candles.
Candles, fires. A lot of time in the summer they get firewood, so they do fires and stuff.
Wait. Hold on.
They do like lamp
fires.
Is it pitch black though?
Like wait. So they bring fire underground and.
Okay, well, so this tunnel's not that.
It's like it's above ground.
But sometimes we've encountered people like
but then
2
they
blocks
do have
in.
underground tunnels where it's like people be deep in the tunnel, and it's like, and it's crazy. The water comes so fast. The water, it'll be like.
Do you ever get nervous going down there for the water?
I've never been down there. I've only been down there once when it was like kind of flooded, and it was like, oh snap. This is like crazy. This is a lot of water, so we had to take a different route,
So I was talking to Jesse
but it comes
about
really
this.
fast.
What are the kind of people that live down there? How do they survive? Because these guys got to know the environment. Like, okay, so how do they know the weather, or do they weather prepare? Because some of these guys got to like laugh at it. I imagine where it would petrify me, but a flood happens, and I imagine them just make their float home or their house float, and then.
There's a guy who does that. He's a military vet.
Is that real? Is that's real?
Well, I know of at least one.
A lot of people just have like escape plans.
Am I watching too much TV, like Kidding Imagination Land? I just imagine this like cracked out genius who sees all this water coming, starts giggling, puts everything on a raft, and then is laughing and like still watching TV and like smoking a cigar, not giving a fuck.
I think they found some clay tablets in Samaria that proves that that's actually the original version of Noah's Ark.
I mean, just the way you guys describe it, I just imagine somebody like, yep, flood. Yep, put everything on the raft. We're going up, baby. We're gonna come up here now.
No, that actually there is a case of that, and he's a sober type of dude.
Swear. So they're really. So I'm not even being
he's a military vet. He's in a wheelchair, and he's got a dog, and his pontoon is.
And him and his dog just float. Get out.
Yeah, he rolls up on there. And,
he's a legend.
Yeah, because I've heard it.
Floats, but it'll keep if they
now, how do they know the weather? How do they know the weather?
I mean, they still have access to tech. They be talking to people. Like I
have seen people standing though with like great concern, like that's the scout, like looking at all the clouds in all the different directions, giving calls back, like because it's a big labor to get ready for it, and if it's a false alarm, it's
if it's a false alarm, it sucks because you just moved all your stuff and it didn't rain. Yeah, so it can be kind of a gamble between.
And like you mentioned, like people who aren't aware of it. There are no people who aren't aware of it. That's Darwin.
They're on top of it, right?
They die so frequently, and so.
Yeah, there've been 2 people who died where I know this one story. There's a couple that lived in a tunnel, and a flash flood happened, and the dude got out, but the girl, she got stuck in like a shopping cart in the tunnel, and the water got high so fast. And then she drowned. I think he died the same way. So it's super sad. And it's like, no, the water will really, like...
So the opposite does happen. So they're not always ready, right?
If you get caught slipping, you know.
If you get caught slipping, it could cost you your life.
Yeah.
Well, there's caught slipping, or you're new, like you just moved in, you're a new resident.
I think everyone knows.
Listen to your neighbors, you know. Like if you try to go at it alone.
Okay, how does that work? How does neighbors like? How are you in like a? Is this almost like living in like the 1800s, where like, buddy, there's no rules. You be a good neighbor. I got a gun. You got a gun. Don't be disrespectful.
What I've noticed is, and it's actually applied to our distribution strategy, is at each encampment there is some kind of figure or figures that
maintain order.
And there's somebody who can enforce things physically, either through just, you know, the respect they garner from their size, you know, some like big dude, or and also like an empathy and like just political skill with, you know, communicating, and that can be like a guy, or it can be who possesses those traits, a woman, or a couple is like another scenario. I'm thinking of specific tunnels where there's this one couple where they it's a, I don't even know if they're a romantic couple, but they definitely have this mom and dad feel, and so I like to go just through those folks. You know,
would you say like a trustworthy kind of feel?
Yeah, like people will trust them. You know, they give a sense of you know, like honor and reliability, and also like actual physical protection.
That's what happens when you're with a male-female, though, right? Like,
but I'm thinking of
like
Irish.
You get trust right away. Now,
Irish is like
maybe
a wild.
You forgot. I don't know how long you guys been together, but you get trust immediately as a male. When, well, in your case, because I've got to meet Shauna enough, where she's very empathetic or nice, or I don't know a lot of people that actually don't like Shauna. And so when you're actually, well, right. And so when you're around someone that, well, nobody hates, and then she's like, yeah, that's my man, it earns you a place in the community. It's a trust thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that is true.
Yeah,
so would you say that in this case, like they have like instead of daddy vibes, they have a mommy daddy vibes?
Isn't that? I don't think it's mommy daddy, but it's just like I don't know. I just think it's like a leadership thing. It's just kind of like the guy who looks out for everyone's best interest in a way. It's like democratic, you know. Like you can't just move into a tunnel.
I mean, I'd say it's technocratic because the authority is established through skill.
Or technocratic. I don't know, whatever the words are.
Yeah, like it's like there's this one cat, Irish, at one of our favorite tunnels, because that tunnel has a giant art gallery deep inside underneath. Underneath really Caesar's
cool.
Palace. It
and
just
there's
opens
always
up.
new art too.
But at that tunnel, there's this cat Irish who, I think he was like a professional boxer, you know, or something like that. And he's got this like wily energy, right? But he's extremely emotional and sensitive and compassionate. And so those combination of traits, you know, his capacity for, you know, violence and to enforce what's right, and also the reliability that he knows what's right.
Right, he's not going to go over the top. He has to restrain. He'll be just.
Yeah, it's like, and sometimes we've had instances where we show up and someone's new to the area and they don't know us, and they do the reasonable thing, which is to regard us as a threat.
So how do you build
by coming into their territory?
Well,
and Irish will set them straight. Yeah.
Mostly it was Doc who did all the hard work.
No, that's an honest question. No. So hold on, sorry. So okay, so say I'm brand new here. And you want to build trust and establish a connection, because damn, so you're trying to help. How do you make you feel comfortable? Accept, like, I don't want to say. I'll just say it as a joke, but I'm gonna regret it and get canceled. How do you be like, bitch, accept my help? I'm just trying to give you assistance. And his reply is, bitch, I just ran away from that shit. Why do you think I'm in this tunnel?
Oh, you know, this is another thing, especially when it comes to like church organizations. Okay, so it's
we had this weird one.
Oh yeah,
this one weird group that oh my god, they were so obnoxious. It was like some
they didn't
weird,
bring anything either.
Yeah, no, they were like some weird cult. It was like 6 of them, and they came out to the tunnels, and we were there at the same time. And they came out and they talked to all the people, and they were like, "Yeah, you need to go to church and pray to God." And
we all had matching T-shirts with some kind of statement about God,
and
or
like
something.
we bless you, and like then they talked to us and like we're on the same side.
But
like, no,
same
not.
team, bro.
They
same
team.
team.
They didn't bring no water.
They just brought the Bible.
But they did offer.
They just came to preach.
They did. No, they offered this like a 6-month stay at their like remote desert compound. Remember that part?
Is this how you get your organs?
They're like, we have this like facility where we can help people.
Jesus.
Like rehab.
So weird.
Okay, did you guys catch red flags everywhere?
Oh yeah.
No, we all were like,
tell me about that.
Tell us more. Yeah, this is crazy.
It was so weird.
At one point, she says, like, yeah, so what happens at this facility? Oh, we help people get off of drugs and get past like other problems. And I was like, oh, like being gay? And she's like, yeah. And she realized that she wasn't supposed to expose that they're like a anti-gay like reprogramming conversion therapy cult.
Yeah, it was so weird.
But you're homeless, and then all of a sudden you're like desperate, and if you get like fooled by these cats, now all of a sudden you're like in some compound for 6 months, and then like a year from that you're like weeding baskets for the leader. Like
that's like indentured servitude
or
something like that.
Yeah.
You have to help people. I feel like from without expecting anything in return.
Right. Like you guys aren't expecting anything in
summer,
return.
It's like 105 degrees, and you came out to really stress people out and preach, and not bring any freaking water, bro.
Yeah.
What the?
Like bring me some water, and then I'll listen to your BS a little better, right?
We basically told him to get off our turf, bro. Like,
and then there's like just other, like a lot of people have been abused by churches, and this is why they're homeless, is because of some kind of like Father Fondle got to them when they were 6 years old, and no, the church is the last thing they want to hear. Yeah. That's like the quality of their lives is determined by how far their mind can be from the trauma that the church gave to them. Especially in this area, a lot of Mormon activity and such. Mormons have like a huge. Pardon.
Yeah.
She's a.
I used to be a Mormon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy. Oh, yeah. So we told him. So we told him, Buddy Scott's a Mormon. And
there's all of this child abuse associated with the organization.
How do you do, fellow Mormon?
Well, we didn't tell Shauna.
And hey, my family's Catholic. We're Italian. Church rapes the fuck out of little kids. This is part of the cultures that we live in, and America at large. But for a lot of people, their association with trauma comes from whatever church organization their culture was a part of. It's the source of it. Some in England, there's a bunch of kids that got raped by Jimmy Savile. So every time the BBC comes on TV, they twitch a bit. So to come with like we're called the misfit missionaries, but to come with a secular, we're just here to hang out. Hey, we got food. This, and it's come up a couple times, asking about like, oh, here to help people. It's my philosophy that that's the worst attitude to come with, because it's patronizing. It can offend them. It's also
the wrong vibe.
You're not going to bond with people like, I'm here to help you. I'm a savior. Like this arrogance is completely incorrect. But I understand why people would come with it. I think it's a wholesome motivation. But in application.
Right, application.
Is it them coming eating or watching something out of this?
I can get this free food from 7th and Carson. They give us 100 free meals every Wednesday. And we go down, it's like, I can get it. Oh, we get free socks from this corporation that makes socks. And for some reason, socks are a thing.
Socks are huge. Hey, I gotta stay warm.
Oh, yeah, you need socks,
Batteries, like.
Ooh, wait. Okay, because you're already answering this. But just so I can get an official. So, what other services do you provide to help regain stability, or like, now do you try to transition them out of homelessness? Or are you just trying to provide stability for the moment?
Either, I think. But we do wind up getting
wrong button. Sorry, guys. Wrong buttons.
Out. We've gotten a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Years. We've gotten a lot. 1, 2, 3. 5,
and like they'll propose the idea, like after they know us, they'll be like, "Hey, can you help me get my mail? Can you help me get in contact with my family?" And
that doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah, no, it's just like we just hang out, get to know them long enough, and then just be a person.
So we were so I just came up with this right now. So what would it take to get you guys to like have a small little spot, so then all these people that are homeless could use your address to have their ID sent to you?
Well, like buy a facility?
Well, you don't need a facility. Let's take it easy. You just need a tiny little spot where I can have my ID sent to you, and I trust you, and you'll bring it back down to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
At this, I totally came up with a very, very random. Wasn't even thought.
Like if you just use this address as an example, or whatever.
Yeah, that's super. Like I didn't have anything.
That's what you mean, though, right? Yeah, like just using an address to help somebody get.
Right. Yeah, because you guys go down. Okay, so we talked about this earlier. How frustrating it is. So I know from experience that like. So I had somebody over here from Arizona, and we were able to go online and have her be like, hey, she's visiting here as a guest. She lost her ID. Send that ID here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had to go through some hoops and answer a bunch of really random questions. But at the end of the day, she proved that she was her, and then that ID was sent here. It still had the address from wherever she came from, and it was an Arizona ID. But an Arizona ID was able to get sent to Nevada. So now with that, is it something like...
We're trying to figure out a specific exactly to that.
Or like a centralized mailbox so that everyone...
That'd be beautiful, right?
Yeah, because the people... Mail is a really big thing, you know. It's
an ID is huge because these assholes take them from you, right?
And people need to get their birth certificates, and just like there's so much paperwork to like establish who you are.
But a trust house, again, it goes back to y'all a couple. Trustworthy. Bring it down a couple times, and everyone believes you.
We have big ideas.
Or sometimes we can fail and we don't meet the what we say we'll do. Maybe something happens in our lives and we can't come through on time with materials and mailing it, and things get delayed or something. But this is also what happens with any time friends interact. Like I was saying like earlier about like this is I'm going to help people. We help each other all the time amongst our friends and in our community, but we don't then sit there and go, I'm going to help this person. We're just like, no, this is what you do. So coming with this vibe, this is what we do.
You're able to shut me down there.
We're also forgiven.
You can shut me down there. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, but I mean,
super
we're forgiven for when we don't, magically, even though they become dependent and reliant on it. And then also, it's just, there's an understanding. It's like we're doing our best for people. Sometimes other people don't come through, or there's a car problem, or
right, yeah.
or I was just in a depressive suicidal fugue, and I couldn't walk out of the house that day,
I'm sure though.
You're not overcommitting to any outcome.
Right.
It's still the same thing
because we're friends. They're not. Yeah, we're not that.
I feel like it adds too much stress to like set all these big goals. Just like two people. Like you can't. It can't be like an overwhelming endeavor because it's supposed to be wholesome and good. So if you make it like.
That was actually a lesson we learned off of Doc and Teresa. They would discuss going back and forth with that. Yeah.
Getting too corporate about it.
And then they dial it back. Yeah. Get their footing. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're more trying to bring community and love. I feel like love's the answer. Like so far, especially with the transition that we went through recently.
That's really cool, you guys.
No, it's true because like when Doc was going down, really cool. Doc was the one who started. Doc and his wife. Teresa, they started Holy Smoke. But unfortunately, they split recently. So it's been a big transition from Doc and Teresa doing it to me and Jesse doing it. And I kind of lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
About love?
Oh, yeah. No, because, Doc was really going through it. Like, and for the first time in, like, 5 years, he's like, I can't do this mission. I don't have my wife. I can't find it myself to do it.
That's what we were just talking about. The power couple. Power couple.
But yeah, no.
Well, I mean,
but he found a new power couple.
So to speak,
there's a spin-off too.
Okay, so let's talk about that power couple. Let's talk about that because I already asked about the worst thing. So what is, in your opinion so far, while you've been at the ring, what is your most successful, funnest, memorable, like, I don't want to say, like, I had a good time, or, but, like, what is it good that just make you smile, kind of, like, memorable thing that you've had go down there?
I feel like they all make me smile. I enjoy doing all of them.
You don't be that mom that says you got 10 kids that are all your favorites. That's bullshit. 1 out of the 10 are always your favorite. Am I right, Scott? There's always that one that's a favorite. You can love them all the same.
You love one more than the other, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Bringing new friends in.
You think so?
Yeah. I think one of the most important thing is finding new people to come on our missions.
Now, would you bring someone like Buddy Scott down there?
Yeah, we'll bring anybody if they're passionate and they're just, just don't be weird, bro.
And also it's like a thing. I don't know if you ever done that kind of work, like going into like encampments where people are like really, there's a lot of vulnerability and sensitive like energies around, and intense energies. Some it's sometimes some encampments are pretty challenging, but some are a delight. And then one has to be like, some camps are rough that you got to have your shields up, and then in some camps you have to put your shields down, otherwise you're gonna hurt people. It's like different energies like that, and just doing it is you change as you do it, and then the more you do it, the more you acquire this sophistication from this type of experience.
Would you say humility? Would you call that sophistication and humility at the same time? We're in downtown Vegas. That's not me, you guys. I'm not playing sound effects. That's real police. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hear it too.
Humility has to be part of it. Like I said, and I think that's one of the things that the I'm here to help people thing. It's like, no, come to have a good time and explore and be interested. There's really cool things happening. Just like unfathomable. Just there's this one cat who was like a survivalist, and he was in the tunnels for a few weeks, but then he kept moving because this is what this guy do. And while he was there, he built a clay kiln.
Oh yeah, it was so awesome.
Wait, what?
And
What?
Like a structure around it.
Kiln?
It was like so intense. It was like a furnace made out of freaking clay.
Why am I thinking of things that the Indians would do?
It was like a freaking
made from the clay of the earth right there. Yeah.
It was a man-made furnace building structure. It was insane. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. People get you'd be surprised about the architecture down there. Like people will make dams. People will really make proper homes,
like a kitchen and everything. There was no plumbing to it, but it matters a lot when you have a counter with a sink. You're never putting anything in that sink, but it just creates a structure, a familiarity that.
It's a landmark now.
Nikki and Thor, their cat had kittens.
Oh yeah, you told me about the kitties. Oh, I want to see the kitties. Oh yeah, and then people got cats and dogs.
Yeah.
You two are so adorable.
Yeah.
No, I love going down there. I don't know. It's weird to say I look forward to it, but it's just they're my friends. I love hanging out with them and talking to them and seeing how their day is going. We just be hanging out. I just feel like it's good for everybody. It's really people need. We humans are social. We need that social connection. We need to feel cared for and cared about. And I feel
and respected,
Yeah.
They help me as much as I
exactly.
help them.
No, they're also very generous, as they must be amongst each other. They're generous with us. They hook us
but
up with
it works both ways, right?
Like Steve and Kat, we got married in their tunnel. We had a proper ceremony.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You guys got married in the tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
Time out. Wait. Time out. Scott, can I?
It's
Scott,
on
can
YouTube.
I? Can I?
Hit it. Story time.
Will you tell us how you got married in the tunnels?
Oh yeah.
These guys got married in the tunnels. And by the way, promote your YouTube as well and where we can find it. We want to watch it. Tell us that story. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so
this will be waiting for when we're done.
Oh yeah, man. We got married last year. What was it, March 30th?
March 30th. Yeah.
It was your grandmother. We didn't realize it till later, but it was his grandmother's birthday.
Grandma DeMarco.
And we got married on the same day, which was wow. But no, we decided we were ready to get married. We wanted to get married. We were ready to tie the knot, but we were thinking about how to plan it and stuff. And then I realized because we were trying to invite a bunch of people and do a whole. Oh, that's right.
Scarface.
Do a Scarface
theme wedding,
You
were gonna do a Scarface?
Yeah.
Costumes were cheap,
Yeah, man. The movie is awesome.
Their Halloween costumes.
So yeah, we were thinking about making a big thing and stuff, but then I was like, damn, I gotta plan that. I don't want to deal with that. So I just wanted to do something.
So you were like, nope.
Exactly. I was like, I gotta plan that.
Yeah, we just it was we were stressed about it. And we were like, fuck it, let's just. Do it at the mission tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. Let's make a bunch of food, bring it down,
Yeah. So
no way.
Made a bunch of marinara, brought a bunch of pasta, tortellini.
It was my
garlic
idea.
bread.
I was like, let's just get married to Steve and Katz. And then, he made all the pastas and stuff. So we bought all this, or he made all this food, and we went to Steve and Katz. And Steve and Katz, that's a ton of
So you brought all this food underground?
Mm-hmm. Their tunnel, they have a lot of landscaping. And because it gets flooded regularly by the fire department's training facility, there's a lot of greenery. So we actually found like one of the only verdant patches in all of the Las Vegas desert, you know? Like,
no way,
so
you
when
guys.
we watch the video, it's
and then
got
you
on
see
YouTube.
the Las Vegas Strip in the background.
With greenery everywhere. Yeah, it's just, and the way people sat in the tunnel, it was very church aisle in aesthetic. She walked, she walked down, and it was.
Yeah, they made like a little impromptu bouquet. It was super sweet and cute. It was like the most magical thing in the world.
I want everyone to know they're holding hands.
with their,
this is
complimenting
adorable.
Nail polish colors.
That's like a good way to say it. It's the thought that counted, the creativity and the mind. You know what I mean? You don't need to have
it was like the
you don't need all that other bullshit.
It's the effort and the creativity.
It was totally,
and being
we
around
had
people,
a cake
you know?
and everything, and we just like invited a couple friends. We had our one friend, my homegirl Alyssa. And then we brought our dog Daisy, and she babysat my dog while we was doing our vows. And then Doc did our wedding. It was just super, super sweet and wholesome. It was just like the cutest, sweetest wedding ever. And we inspired someone else to want to get married.
Oh, and that was also, at the time, in attendance, was another charity that got spun off from Holy Smoke. There was some UNLV students that were like writing a paper, studying us, and then they got inspired to do the work themselves. What are they? Do you know what they're called?
Yeah, they're called it's on my phone. I think it's called The Promise.
The Promise. Yeah, and they hit tunnels on Sundays. We do Wednesdays, and there's another crew called Shine the Light.
So if people want to join in, how do they contact you?
Our Instagram is the best way because we always respond to the messages. So if you hit us up on Holy Smoke Vegas on Instagram, either me, Shauna, or Doc will respond. But you always get a response from us.
I'll give out my phone number because like I don't have an Instagram.
So wait, right here?
Yeah.
Is that right? So you guys want the?
Yeah, I mean, give me your phone
So
number.
Holy Smoke Vegas?
Yeah. Holy Smoke. Holy Smoke was. If you look up Holy Smoke Misfit Missionaries.
Now you really want to put your phone number out there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so can they look at the Hold on. We'll give them your phone number. We got the replay talk.
510-506-5079. My name's Tony, and text me. Don't call me. And then we leave from downtown Las Vegas every Wednesday
at 4 p.m. and we meet at 7th and Carson restaurant.
Oh, you bring all the food from 7th and Carson.
Yeah, they donate
for their 100.
And so we're showing up with good restaurant food. You know, like.
Oh my God! So you're bringing 100. So you guys worked it out to bring 100 meals from 7th and Carson?
Yeah.
Each week.
Right, which is a bougie.
That's bomb ass food, by the way. That's some bomb ass
food. Highly recommend.
Yo.
Nice patio. Great spot. Yeah.
7th and Carson's awesome.
They're the ones with the dollar shrimpies, like at happy hour for a bit, right?
Yeah, you know when I found out
and they're big, and they're big. I mean, I still spent $50 there, but hey, I got shrimp, all right.
That's a downtown place.
7th and Carson. No. So 7th and Carson. Okay, no. So the Fremont Casino has terrible, gross dollar shrimp.
Yeah,
7th and Carson. 7th and Carson has bougie.
Yeah.
Because nobody goes there for so if you want to like exploit the system, you would go to 7th and Carson and just have the shrimp. Nobody goes there for just the shrimp. You have their meals are expensive. They're good. They're but on your receipt, it shows up as $1 shrimp cocktails. It's like hey, here's what I did in Vegas.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, they're
great. $1 shrimp cocktail with the bottomless mimosa. That could be a good way to go.
So good. Wow. So you guys get 100 meals, and then how long does that take to give them all away?
You know,
I feel like maybe like up to 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's really not too long of a endeavor. I feel like. And then you just get used to it, this rhythm, you know.
And sometimes we can't find all the encampments because of police raids.
Yeah.
And so we wind up like with all this stuff, and so we wind up searching out new areas to provide to, and that's how we expand our territory that we serve. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Like,
so
now we were like, there's some parks we go to, some freeway situations.
It just sounds nuts to hear you. This is how I. We only have like 7 or 8 minutes left. But so how do you keep everybody motivated, and how do you expand on territories?
So when I've expanded on territories, it's been through word of mouth reference from someone at one camp. After we've been through a few times and they get to know us, and then they'll refer us. Like we're being checked out.
Yeah.
We're they gotta make sure
we're cool.
Yeah, and then we get referral like that. And then through that, like I said, I like to go through find out how does this community structured, who is the polite person to approach, how to approach.
That makes sense.
Yeah, every camp has its own culture. There's some camps that are just like young, attractive people that just aged out of the foster system. But they're still ambitious. Like 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds. Often they'll have like multiple camps where they have different sets of clothes. So
wait, multiple camps?
Yeah. This is like
20-year-olds with multiple camps?
Yeah, that's a common strategy because then you have more security. You have
more security. What the fuck?
Oh, no. Like a lot of people who are homeless and
I get it. It's just so smart. So
young kids.
Sorry, maybe that came to so fucking smart.
Yeah, your average 19-year-old that's aged out of the foster system is going to be very clever. Very savvy.
The survival skills.
Wow. And then some guys go to work and then still want to hang out.
You got a thought on that, Scott?
Well, I'm just thinking it's like. I knew a foster kid. It's like his life was kind of hard because I knew him as an adult, like 50 years old. So, but I'm just trying to think if a lot of kids are 18, they have that support system. I think like that parents to live at. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like once you're 18,
or even
as a foster, you're just they kick you out, right? And you're like there's not a good transition.
And all your peers are also people who get thrown out too. They don't have resources to back you up.
Right, so even the people right, your friends or like you said,
they're on the same boat.
You're on the same boat.
Yeah, no.
See, there really should be a better way to do the transition to adulthood. It shouldn't just be like, suddenly black, suddenly white.
And then
there needs to be a nice gray area where they have time to build something.
And then another noticeable,
at least a chance.
Another noticeable
usually
population point is queer kids that get kicked out, and there's an inordinate and overrepresented population of young queer people because their families reject them. And so they click together, and this creates its own some camps are more inclusive of this variation in our community.
And camps are really fun.
So it's like there's nothing so fun, but they're not antisocial. They can speak just well. But at this critical young age, people can reasonably wind up homeless for a state of time. Hopefully not go chronic. Hopefully not get so traumatized in that experience in those critical few years that they wind up not being able to function so well. But and this is with the diversity of it. There's a growing population of seniors, that become homeless. Yeah. Like that's a new thing. It's not like the 80s when Reagan kicked out all the hospitals.
64, and he was homeless for longer than I was. He was homeless for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out to Vegas, I got him out 6 months later. And that was scary because his legs were getting really swollen. Yeah. And they were talking about amputating one of his legs.
Oh, wow.
Which I didn't know about
only
until I got him out here.
That's a health problem only faced because
that's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
No, it scared the shit out of me. Because I remember his legs would get really swollen because he had to walk. You can't rest anywhere. You always have to move, My dad's like freaking 60-something, ain't never been homeless at this age before. Like, he can't work. He's already retired. He's got Social Security. There's no housing. There's really no option. I had to get him out because he wasn't going to get out on his own. And if he stayed there, like, I got a sister out there. She's been homeless in the Bay for like a decade or so. I can't get her out. I mean,
wow.
She's gonna die out there, And that's like the reality of it. People get lost, It's sad.
It's frustrating. Well, okay. So first, I would love to have you guys again. Anytime you guys want to come on, let me know. I would even spend a whole week promoting it next time if you guys want to come on again. Amazing.
Awesome,
that being said, Scott, do you have any questions before we let him go?
Well, this is I want to know if I understand, if I were to sum it up, what you guys kind of do. It's basically it's a support system that, in other words, that for other reasons, the other support system failed, whether it's the government helping or family, like they don't have any of that. You guys come in, give them food, give them water, give them friendship, and give them leadership. If they say, hey, you know what, I really want to get out of this situation, then you're like, maybe you'll help them, maybe not. But like, you're not over committed to that. But I like that you're giving them the support system that doesn't exist. Like, it only exists, like you said, if I'm coming in there, I'm trying to preach something, or someone's trying to come in and I have some agenda because I really want to, I want to get them to work for me or do something like, you know, whatever. It's like, that means that's a selfish reason to go in there. It's not, you know, and I think people would think like, oh, how do I help them? But it's like, you really got to change the question, right?
It's how do you wind up enjoying it yourself?
Right.
How do you have wholesome pleasure?
Okay, well, and that's where like the friendship comes in, and then the leadership, because one, you know how to get out because you've been there. I think that so you can relate to. So you're past the part of like, cause some people are gonna judge like, oh, you know, some people don't want to help, you know. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you've already like you do wonderful judged, work, you know, so you know what that feeling is like. You know, like you're like how you described like each person's different, but like some people are more timid because of whatever, or vulnerable, or like how you said it, or some people are like they got their guard up, they're ready to fight maybe, or you know, whatever the situation. I think that's really cool that you just build up a support system. So is that somewhat kind of accurate to what you say?
So, I think my biggest message I'm trying to send to people is just like, we're trying to spread community, you know, like the importance of just, because we're all in this together. I feel like with all the stuff that be going on these days, with like mass shooting, this and that, you know, it's like important for us to look out for each other, you know, look out for our most vulnerable community members, because we're only as strong as our weakest, you know. I mean, if we can't take care of our weakest, how are we gonna take care of you? And you're not even doing that bad, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone matters. Yeah. Everyone matters. You know? And
also, it raises the expectations for all of us. You know, like if the low, you know, when the bottom is higher, you know, when we're not thinking about people that die in the streets from flesh-eating bacteria that they contract because they sleep on the rocks in the pool of water underneath Las Vegas, when that's not the bottom, okay, then maybe we can really get our shit together when it comes to the entitlements that we are due, such as, you know, not living in debt, not paying a bunch of money for rent, getting paid better, having, you know, like that gas isn't so expensive. You just uplift all of our struggles, because I mean, you know, people with families right now are really like, they're going hungry right now. They're not outside, you know, but they're eating worse. And so like if nobody's starving, then we can start working on people eating better food and having vacations, you know, throughout the year. Being able to have time with their families instead of working 64 hours like it's a badge of honor, you know, like, you know, like, you know, just like, you know, I'm a big advocate of the 3-hour work week, you know, but
but I like what you said though about like going for the worst problems and start there. I think that's great.
Making the poorest people richer is the definition of a good economy. That's what all economists,
you know, and I've even heard rich people say, hey, the way I got wealthy, because he was poor growing up or whatever, but he says I helped enough people get what they want. Like he came with a service to help people. Even Tony Robbins one, like I think he started like giving out turkey, because one year they didn't get a Thanksgiving dinner. There's more to that story, but I know like that's how he got motivated.
There's a huge aspect that I'm learning to appreciate from having worked in politics for like last 10 years or so in the Bay Area, that charities have a great political power. They function in a lot of ways as like a chamber of commerce, networking style, but also like just the respect and clout. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the ambition for people to get involved in charity in order to build community power. You know, obviously not like a megalomaniac or a narcissist or anything, but like just the general like interest in bringing about power. Like they want to do good things. Well, you're gonna have to do good things if you're running a charity. Oh, now people will listen to you when you know attend these, you know, gatherings or speak at City Hall or have an opinion on anything. It's like, this person is really out here doing this work. You know, that's what kept Al Capone from getting busted for so long, is he ran so many charities.
Because he had the community on his side. Because the community was on his side.
Yeah. You know, I know people all around this town. Like, this could be like, you know, like if things were to collapse, we have friends underground, literally. You know,
literally.
I don't think in terms of, you know, prepping, you know, but or apocalypse. I really don't. But hey, it's kind of cool that. Yeah, that's what
you're ready.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's like people are like, hey, you know what? That guy was there for me, you know, or whatever. Like he lent an ear, or what, even at the basic level like that. Like you said, that human interaction that people don't get. I think that's a wonderful thing. That's just amazing. I'm real proud of you guys. Yeah, that's like not.
Yeah, no.
Not
So you want to come
do
down?
that.
Yeah. We're doing it tomorrow. We're doing it in like a few hours here. But then every Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday evening or Wednesday?
Wednesday at 4 o'clock is when we.
Yeah, Wednesday at 4. Yeah.
4 p.m. Yeah. And then we hit like a few tunnels, maybe a couple parks. Yeah.
You always have a good time though.
It's
always real fun.
Yeah.
It's always super fun.
Well, holy smokes. Scott, you got anything else before we let him go?
No, I mean, I'm good. No,
Okay, afterwards, he's got some side questions. I know you
cool.
can.
And I just want to put out one last thing, before, like, if I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a
Wait.
solution.
So try, if you could keep it under a minute. Do you have anywhere, and reminder, we're on YouTube, so we can pause and replay. Do you have anywhere where they can contribute to your mission?
Holy Smoke Las Vegas. Holy Smoke LV. Let's get the.
Yeah, we get the actual website.
Yeah, let's get this spot on. Yeah.
Donate on our Instagram too. But yeah.
So you have the donation on your Insta, and is this right? If you look on the TV screen, Holy Smoke Vegas.
HolySmokeVegas.org.
No, that's the IG is Holy Smoke Vegas, and the website is HolySmokeVegas.org. And then we have a whole website. Gives you the about us, our contact, and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so my one thing I want to close with.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so there is a solution to homelessness. It's extremely well known and applied in the United States. They did it in Utah, eliminated homelessness by 95%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just give them homes, and it's cheaper. It doesn't cost as much. You don't have to like clean up all the garbage that piles up. You don't have to deal with emergency room visits. Utah did it, 95%. It's called Housing First.
95.
Yeah, it's called Housing First. That's the policy.
We'll look that up later. Holy shit! Well, everybody, I'm excited. I do think I'll be able to bribe you guys to come back again. So that concludes our discussion with the Holy Smokes Vegas. Add them at their website on holysmokesvegas.org or their Instagram at holysmokevegas. I seriously want to express like gratitude. Like the selflessness for the work. The idea that you actually prepared, give out food with no expectations because, well, fuck, it's not your food, but it's bougie food. But you prepared, you set it up, you got it together. And so the way that you were addressing the homelessness in the Las Vegas tunnels, very cool. And so I would say there were some hidden struggles there living beneath the glittering lights.
Beneath the neon lights, baby.
So remember, everybody, the importance of compassion in the community. It's not just about helping the homeless. It's about restoring their dignity and giving them a second chance because somehow it gives you a better chance at life as well. So I'm the Mad Hatter. With that, this was the Holy Smokes Vegas. We do have part 3. So this was part 2 of 3 with Shauna and Tony. This was Holy Smoke Vegas. Next coming up, we've got I am Josh 702, and we've got the Terra Jewels, and we're going to talk about influencers trying to make it in Sin City. Brave. So we're going to go from the homeless to these bougie kids trying to catch the clout in Vegas. We will edit all of these and have a part 1, 2, and 3. So God bless you, everybody, and so everybody stick around. We'll see you all in about 5 minutes.
You